This comes to us from NBCnews.com. Out of Pennsylvania, a Chinese-American teenager who was fatally shot by Pennsylvania State Police last year had his hands in the air when troopers opened fire, new videos are revealing, prompting calls for an independent investigation. Now, the videos recorded by the state police show the final moments of Christian Hall's life on the afternoon of December 30th, 2020. Hall, who had been diagnosed with depression, was standing on the ledge of a highway overpass near Stroudsburg in northeastern PA when troopers arrived. They tried to persuade him to get down, but when they saw he had a gun, later determined to be a pellet gun, it was a realistic looking pellet gun, they backed away. Video previously released by the Monroe County District Attorney shows Hall raising his hands in the air with a gun in one hand after a trooper fired bullets that struck the bridge. But the final seconds before he was killed are blurred by authorities.
Calls are growing tonight for an independent investigation into the shooting of a Chinese-American teenager by Pennsylvania State Police. It happened last year in the Poconos. The new unedited video shows the final seconds of Christian Hall's life, which had been blurred in previously released videos. This happened on a highway overpass in Hamilton Township, Pennsylvania, back on December 30th.
Now, the fatal shooting drew protests from activists who questioned why state police had opened a fire on a teenager who appeared to be suicidal and needed help. Protesters also raised concerns about whether Monroe County District Attorney E. David Christine Jr. could make an unbiased call, given that his office regularly works with troopers to build cases. I'm going to stop there. You can read it. It's pretty lengthy. It's really long, but the link to this story is in my description box. But they raise a good question. Any district attorney works with the police to build cases. Now, lately, we've seen a lot of district attorneys who are building cases on bad cops, and I appreciate that. Sometimes I maybe question their motives, but it is true that there is kind of a little bit of conflict of interest there when you have a DA investigating a cop or a bad cop or a bad shooting, as it were. Now, some people are going to say, well, he had the pellet gun, it looked real. But in the video, you see his hands are in the air and bang, bang, bang. He didn't lower it. He didn't aim it at them. It was aimed at the sky. All they had to do was just continue waiting it out and tell him to drop it. Waiting it out. But one cop couldn't wait, man. They're having a run on donuts at Dunkin' Donuts. All right, guys, let's go get some Krispy Kreme. Couldn't wait it out. And I'm wondering, and I'm going to get dinged for this, but I'm wondering if it was because he was an Asian American. If he'd been a white kid with a polo shirt that has an alligator on it and nice khakis with dress shoes that was having the same issue, would they have waited it out? They've been at this standstill for 20 hours now with this young teenager who's suffering from depression. No, they get this kid and they just shoot him.
Troopers spent nearly 90 minutes trying to persuade him to get down, even though he was holding a replica pellet gun designed to look like a real pistol. Hall's family obtained the full video through a subpoena, which shows Hall kept his hands above his head until the very moment he was shot to death. The pellet gun was in his hand at the time. The Monroe County District Attorney's Office cleared the officers of wrongdoing in March, but there are new calls for this investigation to be reopened.
I'm criticizing them for that. His hands were in the air. There was no threat at that moment. Oh, maybe they thought it was a real gun, but he wasn't aiming it at him. I don't know, man. I want your opinion.